Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hissa and I'm going to be trying this YouTube stuff. So, today's video is going to be a bit random. I keep touching my face. I was going to do a day in my life, like all day I was filming a day in my life. But a day in my life is actually really boring. I'm a teacher and I teach from home because of the lockdown. The UK's in lockdown whilst I'm making this video. And it's making teaching very, very hard and very boring, I'll be honest. So hopefully when times get a bit better, I'll try and do a day in my life if you guys are interested in that. But until then, I thought a last minute video, what the hell can I do? Can't go out, can't really buy anything last minute, and I have to upload a video in 2 days. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, by the way. So I thought, why not do how to get a first at uni? Now this is random. I don't know how many people watching this are going to uni, how many people go to uni, how many people have been to uni. I don't know if you guys even care about uni. If you think it's a scam like a lot of people do nowadays.
I disagree.
But yeah, I just thought, I'll give my tips on how to get a first at uni. So I studied at the University of Salford. I got a first class. I actually came top of my class. Well, joint top of my class. The other person, Manisha, if you're watching this, well done. Could have beat you, but okay. I'm joking. Manisha's actually one of my best mates. I got a first class at university. I studied chemistry, just proof that I actually did. There we go. Bachelor of Science with first class honours in chemistry. Subtle flex. Right. And yeah, I don't know how, I'll be honest. I actually didn't do the best at A-levels when it came to chemistry. I was actually going to do biology first. Even before that, actually, I was going to do biomedical science. So that's why I originally went to university. But I had like a chemistry module and I really enjoyed chemistry. So me being the idiot I am, switched to the A-level that I wasn't that good at. To do a degree in it. Makes sense, doesn't it? And I'm supposed to kind of help people with their lives now as a teacher. I feel sorry for them. I'm kidding, actually. Hopefully they'll be fine. But yeah, I did chemistry and I enjoyed chemistry. I enjoyed studying chemistry. University was actually, I'd say up to now, like the best moment of my life. I had independence. I could do what I want. I met some of the best people at university. It was a bit dramatic. I've got some stories from university about how, if you're watching this, I don't know if I should say his name, but I've got so much tea to spill about university. Just about this one kid as well. Well, one adult, I guess. But, you know what? That's all past. University was sick. I loved it. And if I could do it again, I definitely would do it again. Right, so moving on with the tips. I've chosen 5 tips, just like generic tips. And then I've done like 3 chemistry specific ones. Or science specific, depending on how you think about it. Right, so this is my guide for how to get a first class at university. Alright, so the first step, and it's a pretty obvious step, is organize yourself. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people go into uni and they kind of just throw their books on the desk and they think that's going to help them. But no, organization is actually a really key skill that you need. Not only kind of just like organizing your time, but also just physically organizing things. I don't know if you can tell here, I am pretty organized. You can't really tell in this frame over here, but I'm actually very organized. If we actually pan this down, you've got all these files over here. These were actually my files from university. And that's actually something I'd really recommend. Get some files like this. Get all your paperwork in there. Get all of your books that you're going to need. Any reading lists, print them out. Highlight anything you're going to need. I'll be honest, I wasn't the most religious reviser. I wasn't revising 24/7 like a lot of people because I was doing like full-time jobs as well and I was a carer at the same time. But I was organized and that really did help me kind of when I did need to revise. Them few hours a day that I would get to revise. So organization, very key skill, highly recommend it. Box files will save your life. You can get them really cheap from Tesco as well. And they'll last you the entire time. My next tip for university is to find a good group of friends. Now, I don't mean just kind of like people that you're going to chill with for bants, can't say bad words on the internet. But in university, I really enjoyed my time with my mates. If you're watching this, hopefully, Abbas, he was kind of like, I think he was probably the first friend I made at uni. He was actually, I'd say we're pretty opposite. So he was very, very Manc. I was very Yorkshire. And he was very outgoing. I was very introverted. But for some reason, we kind of like clicked and we became good friends. Manisha, again, she's like a sister to me. Osama, one of my best mates there. He was just weird, but we were just mates. Demi, Temi, you guys as well. Like, massive shout out to you. And then other people in my class as well, like Linda, she's actually got a YouTube channel. She was actually really cool as well, like in lessons. I think my first group project was with Linda. And she was one of the, she was like the only other person who was actually doing work. Well, actually, she was doing some of the most work in that group project. Again, drama, but we'll get to that in some other video. Right. when I say make a good group of friends, I mean friends who are going to like be mutually beneficial to you. So you can help them in certain things, but they can also help you in certain things. So for example, I wasn't the best at maths, but Abbas was actually really good at maths, and so was Manisha, and they would really help me a lot in the maths, you know, when it came to physical chemistry, for example. Again, I'm going to refer it back to chemistry all the time because I'm a chemist, so that's kind of how it goes. And I would in turn help them with other things, like, for example, organic. Although I've not done organic in a while, so, you know, I'd have to read up on about it again on certain things. But at university, I was pretty good at organic, and I'd help them out. Same with, like, actual theory. When it came to physical chemistry, I was pretty good at that, so I could help them with that. I have a feeling I'm speaking really fast, but I guess that's a bad habit of mine. I need to slow it down. Right. Anyways, make a good group of friends. They're friends for life, legit friends for life. And, you know, you will not regret it. Now, my third one is a bit of a random one. You might think it's not very academic, but it's to set yourself goals. By goals, I don't just kind of mean like, oh, get your deadline in on time or get this much work done in this much time. I mean, like, set yourself long-term goals. Like, what do you actually see yourself doing in a month, in 2 months, at the end of the year, at the end of this semester? Not only academically, but kind of like thinking about now careers, because university, 3 years does seem like a long time, but they will fly by. You kind of need to prepare yourself like early, and setting yourself goals is actually a really good example. Like, I'll tell you an example of me. I set myself a lot of goals. Like, so the first year was kind of just pass, because like I said, I didn't chemistry was one of my weakest subjects, so I didn't know how I was going to pass chemistry. So my goal was just to pass. The next year, I changed my goals completely. So now my goals were more kind of career orientated. So at the end of first year, what I wanted to do was kind of get a job. So this was outside of studying. I wanted to get a job so that I could support, get a different job to what I was doing at the time. So I could support myself and kind of build up my CV so that I could maybe do a placement year if I wanted. Spoiler alert, I didn't want to do a placement year. I really couldn't be asked. Kind of a regret, but at the same time, not really. Another goal that I set myself was lab work. So how much lab work do I want to do? So when I was doing my dissertation, I actually wanted to do so many hours of research a week. I think it was 20 hours of research a week. So like about 4 hours a day. And 4 hours was about how long one of my experiments was. A lot of the time it would fail because it was a very like meticulous experiment. If you guys want to hear about my dissertation, which I don't think any of you guys do, let me know. It's actually really boring, I'll be honest. But I found it interesting. But it's all about setting goals. I set myself goals, and they really helped me kind of see ahead and kind of like get to where I needed to be. And in this, you know, kind of along the way, get the grades that I wanted to get. And I think that's one of the biggest ways that I actually did manage to pass a subject that I genuinely found very difficult. Step 4 is to balance your time. You really don't want to overwork yourself at uni, because uni is stressful. First year of uni, I'll be honest, is kind of like a repeat of your A-levels. Second year of uni, you get thrown off a cliff without any warning, and you kind of like, I can't explain how deadly second year it is. It's such a bad year. And I thought it was only for my course, but every single course that I hear, second year is actually death. It's terrible. Please do not underestimate how bad second year is going to be. The kind of knowledge gap between first year and second year is huge. It's worse than GCSE and A-level. And if you've ever done A-levels, you'll kind of know how big that gap is. And to kind of balance out all of that stress, you need to set some time for yourself. You need to think about your well-being. If you're overworking yourself, you're actually going to be forgetting information. You're going to find it more difficult at university. So you need to find a way to kind of make time with your friends, make time with your family. I know it's a bit hard with COVID now, but, you know, you still need to kind of find that time. And I think I was pretty bad at this, I'll be honest. I think this was my like weakest point. I found it really hard to balance my time because, like I said, I was working full-time job. I was a carer. I was doing tuition as well, 5 days a week. And it was just, you know, I was trying to find time to revise as well. And I just did not have time kind of for myself unless I was at home by myself. So that kind of messed me up, and it kind of messed up my sleep pattern as well, which again, is not really a tip, but like it is a tip. Like, make sure your sleep pattern is on point. Just make sure that you balance your time. You don't want to be so stressed or so depressed that you kind of drop out of uni or worse. And sadly, things like that do happen. So like, take care of yourself at university. And my final general step, very, very, very obvious step, is to revise. It sounds kind of weird, like this being a step, because you'd think it's so obvious, but you'd be surprised at the amount of people at university who do not revise, who think, oh, I'll fly by this, you know, I'm smart, I'll get through it. No, you will not. Even the smart people will find it difficult, like I said, at second year, because the thing is, first year kind of like, it brings you in, it's like, oh, you know, oh, we'll take care of you. And then as soon as second year comes, it's like, no. Like, it's really, really bad. So people kind of take that mistake and then they end up failing modules, and then they can fail their whole degree, or they'll drop down grades that they don't want to get. So really actually take time to revise. Right, now that those like kind of general steps are gone, I'm going to kind of make it a bit more specific to science now and chemistry in general. This one is actually going to be kind of general as well. Every topic can use it, like practice past questions. So that's like my first one, I'd say. The next one, and this is very, very general chemistry, is practice mechanisms. Like, when I say practice mechanisms, I don't mean like kind of look at it and just like do it once. I mean, get a book and just practice your mechanisms. This was my actually practice book. All of these, you can't even see it that well. It's literally just a book full of me practicing mechanisms again and again, writing the same mechanism over and over until I got it in my head. Organic chemistry will kill you. As a chemist, I can tell you that it's absolutely disgusting. But if you practice mechanisms again and again, you kind of get used to it. And if you practice generic ones, it's fine. And then try and apply them again. Again, this is a separate point, but it's kind of linked to that. If you are doing chemistry or biochemistry, any type of chemistry really, get yourself one of these. I made this myself. Can you see that? I made this myself. It's an organic mechanism book, and this saved my life. During second year, I'll be honest, most of the chemists didn't do that well in organic chemistry. But I got in the 80s just because of this bad boy over here. What I did was every single mechanism that I learned, I wrote it down. So these are all generic. So this wasn't me practicing them. This was me just looking at, like, writing them down so that I can come back to them. It's a book literally full of mechanisms. If you don't do chemistry, you're probably gonna be like, what the heck is all this? This is my love language. It's all just a book full of mechanisms. And there's loads of these. Like, all you have to do is get a random art book, a plain book with plain paper, and just write out every mechanism that you learn. And in here I've got, like, how do I say, making it sound less boring? I've got every single organic chemistry mechanism that I learned, every single biochemistry mechanism that I learned, every single inorganic chemistry mechanism that I learned. Everything that I learned, I put in this book, and it actually saved my life. It genuinely, even now, I look back at this sometimes, and it really does help me a lot. And finally, this is the last one. This one can kind of like fit in with engineering as well, I guess, or any other science. But practice your maths. I wasn't that good at maths at A-level. I actually dropped maths because I failed it. But when I got to university, I started practicing my maths. So what I did was I actually looked at my A-level books again and kind of did the maths, and I actually got good at it. And everything at A-level now that I couldn't do then, I can do now, just because I practiced my maths. And because I practiced my maths there, I could use it at chemistry. And chemistry, you actually use maths quite a lot. You need maths in science quite a lot, but it's mainly statistics that you use. But when you get to like kind of chemistry and physics and engineering, when you have to use like kind of like pure maths and like very hardcore kind of calculus and stuff like that, it's really important that you know how to do it. And practicing your maths goes a long way. Even if it's only up to A-level, it makes a massive difference. Right, so those are my tips of how to get a first at uni. I know it's a bit boring. I don't know if you guys care about this. I hope it helps some of you guys. I wish somebody made a video like this whilst I was at university. I kind of had to learn all of these by myself. But yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. If you're doing, even if you're doing undergrad, if you're doing postgrad, whatever you're doing, hopefully it helps you. I'm actually doing postgraduate right now. I genuinely hope it helps you get a first as well. But that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully with a kind of different video. It's kind of going to be a challenge video. I've been trying to start it every single day this week, but something keeps coming up. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to start it as of filming this, and hopefully you'll be able to see that next week. But until then, keep vibing, keep thriving. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.